for the last 14 years. Everybody always asks a question. It's a fucked up question to ask a songwriter. What's your favorite song you've ever written? Technically, every single song is my favorite song I've ever written. Time is what has a funny way of sifting through those songs. Every song I write, I'm like, man, this is the best thing I've ever done. 20 years later, some of the best things I've ever done haven't been played in 17 fucking years. Time is the decider. You create the art, you put it out in the world, and then people judge that art. And people have their favorite songs, and you play those favorite songs. And then there's songs that don't ever get played again. They get pushed to the back of the attic. So many different metrics go into measuring a favorite song. There's lyrics that I love more than others. There's melodies I love more than others. There's full band arrangements that I prefer over solo arrangements. And sometimes there's solo arrangements I prefer over band arrangements. But the metric I chose to pick my favorite song, because I had to pick a favorite song. I get asked that question all the time. Usually it's lazy journalist. But you have to have an answer for them. And so I decided my favorite song was the song that changed my life the most. If you ask me what record changed my life the most, that's easy. 2012, Burn, Flicker, Die. My life changed. My life completely changed. It was like the universe flipped the light switch. Before that record came out, I was a struggling songwriter. I was a struggling band. After that record came out, we never had to worry about working a job. It was literally like the universe just said, okay, you get to do this for the rest of your fucking life. So I knew that the song that changed my life had to come off that record. To give you an idea of where we were in 2011, though, we were struggling. We were playing a little over 300 shows a year. And that's not an exaggeration. 11, 12, and 13, we did 307, 304, and 306. We were busting our ass, and nobody gave a shit. When I say shows, I mean we were playing every pizza parlor, punk rock bar, dive bar, anywhere that gave us a stage, we were playing it. We weren't getting paid for it, but we were meeting amazing people and making these contacts. But after about 7 years of it, we kind of all had to look at each other and say, what are we fucking doing? It's fun, but like, there's no sustainability here. There's no security. And we all came to the conclusion at the end of 2011 we were going to quit. There's no shame in walking away from something that you tried your best at. When I was in the 8th grade, I wanted to be a professional basketball player. When I was in 8th grade, I was 6'1" in the 8th grade. I was a power forward. Not only did I have a hell of a drop step, I could shoot, I could dribble with both hands. I was like a stretch 3. I was like, fuck, I'm going to get to like 6'9", 6'10". This is going to be easy. The man you were looking at today on the stage is currently 6'1". Never grew another fucking inch after the 8th grade. Might be the drugs and alcohol. But I watched myself in high school go from a power forward to a 3, to a 2, to on the bench. And eventually you have to admit to yourself, there's no matter how many shots I get up after practice, no matter how many more runs I do, I'm not going to be a professional basketball player. It's not in the cards. The band was the same way. After a little over 1,500 shows, I was like, man, maybe we're not supposed to be a band. Maybe I'm not a songwriter. And we decided to quit. I'm not ashamed to say that. We decided to walk away from it. We had one tour left, though. We had a tour in December of 2011 with a buddy of ours who was also a struggling songwriter. And every night we'd play these new songs that would eventually become Burn, Flicker, Die. And every night he would say, where's that record? Where's that record? We're like, man, we can't make no record. We ain't got no money. And he's like, you're not going to be able to live with yourself if you don't record that record. You don't have to tour anymore, but you have to record that. I said, man, I don't think you heard me. Like, we can't pay our cell phone bills, yet alone make a fucking record. To give you an idea where I was financially in 2011, I was on my 3rd year being homeless. I was living in a storage unit in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to Ample Storage on Capitol Boulevard. If you're ever in the market for a storage unit, they got great prices. Amazing. They can fit your needs. And before you judge me, I wasn't a fucking animal. It was climate control. But I paid $60 a month for a 10 by 10 climate controlled unit. And the owner of the unit, her daughter was a big fan of the band, so she let me stay there. She let me sleep there. So I had a bed, I had a TV, had a little refrigerator, I had power, had air conditioning. I brought dates back to that motherfucker. If you've ever wondered, guys, if you've ever wondered if you're truly smooth, try bringing somebody back to a fucking storage unit. I'm not proud of it, but I'd go to the bar and you'd meet somebody, you'd hit it off. You'd refuse to take them back to your space, so you go back to their place. After a week or two, things are getting serious. They start asking a question. Can we go to your place? Absolutely not. After about 2.5, 3 weeks, it stops being a question. It's like, we're going back to your place. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And like, what are you so ashamed of? Do you have a place? I'm like, technically, yes. I'm like, well, what is it? I was like, it's a studio apartment. Or they're like, is it like in a rough neighborhood? Like, actually, it's a gated community. And you've never seen fear like you've seen fear when you put that turn signal on to turn into a storage unit. When your date thinks you're going back to your house. Let me remind you, the #1 television show on TV in 2011 was a show called Dexter. There is nothing more romantic than getting out of the car in the glow of the headlights and unlocking one padlock, unlocking the second padlock, and gracefully raising those fucking doors, and then saying, come on, you wanted to see it. That's where I was in 2011. So making a record seemed kind of out of the question, but I'm lucky because this friend of ours said, listen, man, if you could show up in Muscle Shoals, Alabama in January, I'll produce the record for free. I'll do the record, but you got to make this record. And so we did it. We showed up, Muscle Shoals. We said, fuck it, we ain't got nothing to lose. And it's not no money. We didn't give a fuck. That record, when it came out, changed my life. Immediately changed my life. And I'm thankful because the friend that produced that record was Jason Isbell. He's okay. I think you're clapping for the wrong person. We're talking about two different people. You're talking about internationally celebrated folk icon Jason Isbell. I'm talking about the drunk guy that got kicked out of the drive-by truckers. That's two very different fucking people. I made a record with a ladder. We were both still drinking pretty heavy. But I'm thankful to this day for his friendship. I'm thankful that he believed in this band when I'd lost faith in it. I'd later get sober because of him. I owe a lot of who I am today to that guy. He'll never take any fucking credit for it. But I'm thankful for that friendship. And I'm thankful that he pushed us to make this record because, again, without making this record, like, I'm not standing here today. And the reason this song I'm going to leave you with is my favorite song I've ever written. Because it's the song that changed my life. Because about a week before we went to the studio, he said, hey, I need you to send me demos. I said, man, we ain't got demos. Can't afford it. We're not paying you. Like, I can't make demos. He's like, just record it on your phone. And I said, why? And he's like, because if it sucks, I can't put my name on this PJ. So I recorded a song, a voice memo, and I sent it to him. And before I could send him a second one, I got a text message back and said, hey man, as long as everything's like this, we got a fucking record. I didn't send him a single fucking song after that. I said, yeah man, I'm not even done with that one. That's a new one. If you like that, you're gonna love the rest of this fucking record. It's all heat. And he bought it, and we went down there, we made a record, and I'm going to leave you with this song because without this song, we don't make that record. Without that record, we don't stay together. Without staying together, we don't start touring. And without touring for the last 13 fucking years, I'm not playing songs for you tonight in Fort Worth, Texas, the Magnolia Motorhome. So, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for letting me ramble, and thanks for letting me play the songs that I want to play. There's no set list. I get to pick the songs I want to play and tell you the story. So I appreciate you guys taking this ride with me. And yeah, this is a song called Burn, Flicker, Die. And it changed my life. My name's BJ Barham. I'm in a band called American Aquarium from Raleigh, North Carolina.